it's really good to see people taking part in the council process, and you're very, very welcome to be here. And many of your sentiments you'll find a number of us here actually agree with. So we've got a deputation from Brighton Benefits campaign, and the spokesperson will be Miss Maureen Pilby. The deputation results to the under-occupancy penalties for social housing tenants. Miss Pilby, if you would please present your deputation. And I've actually checked the ruling. The lawyers have checked the ruling, and I am allowed to be flexible in how much time I give you, within reason. And so it says 5 minutes. I'm actually quite happy to give you 10 minutes, and that's in my gift as chair. But if you could try and keep to 10 minutes, that would be really helpful. Thank you. If you'd like to start. You've got a microphone in front of you now.
Sorry, I've done this before.
That's fine.
This is a statement from the Brighton Bedroom Tax Victim Support Group. Imagine you've invested a lot of time and effort in improving your council house over the years. You've always paid the rent on time, your family have flown the nest successfully, and the grandchildren are a joy. Then tragedy hits. Your daughter dies. And suddenly, in midlife, you're pitched back into the work of full-time parenting again, looking after 2 young granddaughters. Now you're told that despite your poverty and despite your enlarged household, you must pay a penalty for under-occupying, when in fact your teenage grandson comes to stay for half the week to be with his sisters and sleeps in the box room. It's a painful reminder that how real families live doesn't count for anything when it comes to the bedroom tax. Or you are seriously ill, constantly tired and in pain. You've had to give up so much of the life you had before, but at least your flat is above the neighbourhood shop, and at least it's adapted in so many ways for your needs, and at least you have long-lasting neighbours who support and look out for you. It's your home. Now you're told that you must move, and the stress and disruption is more than you can even bear to think about. Or your children no longer live with you, but they're all close by. One is a single parent, and you try to help out by having the grandchildren to stay occasionally. Your own health is not good, but you're an active person in the community despite it, and your home there is your bedrock. Paying the bedroom tax will reduce your income so far beneath the breadline that you just don't know how you'll manage. You cannot eat properly, and you've lost the energy to help others like you used to, and it's now a daily struggle, not just to sink into despair. Or you both have serious physical and mental illnesses and have carers coming in every single day. You feel safe with good neighbours around you, and you're so glad that your garden lets you keep your beloved pets. Moving is unimaginable. New people, new situations are just too much to cope with alongside your illness. A discretionary housing payment seems to offer hope, but then you're told it's only for people who agree to move, and you refused it. You think, how can they get away with telling me to pay the bedroom tax from money that's supposed to be for housing? Sorry, not supposed to be for housing, but for the extra costs I have because of my disabilities. You wonder what will become of you with cuts in the real value of social security benefits for years to come, and council tax to pay, and now this. It's so heartless that you wonder if the intention of it all is to drive you to suicide. Then no doubt the money that was supposed to keep you alive will come in handy for cuts for the well-off. You can imagine this, but these are not imaginary cases, nor are they unusual. They are all victims of the bedroom tax here in Brighton and Hove. These are tenants we've spoken to, but many others tell us they're simply too frightened to draw attention to themselves because they are regularly blamed for wrecking the economy, abused, and vilified by central government and the press for claiming benefits they are entitled to by law. What is a home? Just 4 walls, a roof, decent home standards? Tenants say no. Our homes should be places where security, continuity, pride in ourselves and our achievements, our memories and our family history are fully respected, just as they are in owner-occupied housing. Our homes should guarantee us a place within a community through a network of ties and responsibilities. All of this is threatened, and that's why the bedroom tax is met with such hostility. None of us voted for our homes to become little more than housing units, so that we can be moved about like little packages, and as one young mum put it, by people whose master bedroom would take up most of the upstairs in my house. Our houses are so small anyway, and they're telling us that we might have to move again and again. How do you put down roots like that? What's the point of putting any money into your home? What if we get sick and we lose our jobs? What is it private sector housing where vastly more under-occupation takes place? Why is it poor people in public sector housing who are targeted? Why is the housing benefit bill blamed on us? We're not private landlords. The central government is happy to see making a killing out of the housing shortage. Where are the rent controls? We, the least off, well off, are blamed when we live in a country stuffed full of private, half-filled, empty mansions, second homes and holiday homes. The government is ducking any responsibility for this housing crisis and refusing to invest in social housing, which would create desperately needed jobs as well as homes. The report before this committee was written for an administration that say they are committed to a no eviction policy. Let's be clear what it says. Paragraph 3.8. If you won't pay, we will evict you. Paragraph 9.1. We will chase your debts even after eviction. 9.2. We will use debt recovery agencies. We will take money directly from the benefits. 3.7. People will be pressurised to pay off their bedroom tax arrears, even if they wish to downsize. Paragraphs 2.3, 2.4. This report proposes adding £70,000 to the DHP, dependent upon the Secretary of State. This would only be 10% of the amount people are losing. Paragraphs 3.12 to 3.14. There is no guarantee to take further action after this initial money runs out. Paragraph 3.2. The report restates that the Council will be using all its powers to recover our rent arrears. 3.11. There is no intention to defy the government. This is not a report about defying an unjust law. This is not a report planning how to defend the weakest and most vulnerable people in our society. This is not a report that suggests any plans whatsoever for an alliance between tenants and their council to defend tenants from tax and get rid of it. It is a report planning how to do the government's dirty work for them in a locally appropriate way. It is a report which will lead to further misery, family breakup, illness, legal persecution, premature death, and even suicide amongst the people the Council has the strongest duty to protect. This is what the Council should do. State publicly and repeatedly that no evictions of council tenants will under any circumstances take place for arrears of bedroom tax. Promise to do all in your power to defy this unjust tax. Remind council staff that they have no moral obligation to enact an unjust tax and encourage them to defy it. Encourage them too to defy any of their managers We bully them to implement the tax in any way, for instance by sending out intimidating letters to tenants, by taking part in appointments for tenants to pressurise them to pay the tax, or to move home inappropriately, by organising debt recovery measures, by blocking tenants and arrears from participation in the home move transfer system, and so on. Encourage council staff to meet together to plan how to support tenants with the fines of this tax. Actively encourage their trade unions to support them. Encourage council staff to use all their meetings with tenants to support them in their defiance of this tax. Extend the deadline for appeals by a further month and provide clear and simple information to tenants about how to appeal and upon what grounds they may do so. Reclassify housing by counting a spare bedroom, as other householders do, as a vital study room, storage space, guest room or sick room. Block any restrictions upon tenants in arrears from transfers in the home move system. If the council does not agree to these simple measures of solidarity and protection for tenant victims of this tax, then the radical sounding resolution proposed to this committee will, if passed, be no more than hot air.